We all share the same earth and sky. And today, what I wanted to talk about is violence. There's so goddamn much of it, it's ridiculous. So, in Zazen, what emerged for me is that the Vimalakirti Sutra, really. And in the Vimalakirti Sutra, Vimalakirti is a lay practitioner, dear friend and student of the Buddha. Uh, it has been said that his awakening was equal to that of the Buddha himself. And so Buddha sends his students to see him. Manjushri is there leading the crew. And once there, Manjushri asks him, Vimalakirti, dear one, why are you sick? And Vimalakirti, teaching from his sick bed, the bed of sickness, he says in response, Oh, Manjushri, so good to see you. I am sick because the world is sick. Cause and effect, not one, but zero. So, in everyday life, the practical aspects, there's the violence that we have towards ourselves, the self criticism, the self mangulation, the self doubt, the harshness, um, the insecurity, the worry, the fear, all driven by one thing, which is anxiety at the bottom. And then there's these other forms of violence, the outward, in our society, it's about um, human rights, immigration rights, uh, sexual identity rights, gender rights. Uh, there's the issue about countries and nations firing missiles and making threats and being harsh and with each other. It's all violence. It seems like it's 10,000 things going on at one time. Oh no, I can't juggle all the balls. But if you put it in singular context, these are just 10,000 expressions of violence. It's only one thing, just expressing itself in an innumerable number of ways because the brainstem mind, the reptilian mind, survival mind, anxiety mind, fear mind has an endless number of things that it can project onto the virtual reality headset of thinking mind. And so, what can one do? It seems so weak, it seems so passive to say, have a meditation practice, have a spiritual practice, have a compassion practice. It seems so weak, and yet, until we meet, take responsibility and meet inward violence, to meet our maladaptive attachment styles or unhealthy attachment styles. As Alfred Adler says, all problems are interpersonal relationship problems. And what makes them interpersonal relationship problems is we don't know or understand how not to be violent with each other and ourselves. And then there's immigration and Honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter what color you are. It's just all you really need to get deported is a green card. um, that's a version of violence because we're all sharing. This is the only planet that has our version of life on it. And so if you start chopping it up and cutting it up and hoarding resources and stuff like that, which are versions of violence based on anxiety, fear, and insecurity, everybody's going to bleed. So we have to meet and understand like there's this default aspect of self. Like the word mantra means that which protects the mind from its own natural negativity. That means that it's an inbred trait that resides in the brainstem, but also Buddha DNA, also here. And just like we can choose not to embody, give attention to, energy to, live through our universal loving presence nature that is sometimes described as Buddha nature or Buddha DNA, we can commit to the brainstem in that R complex that is fight, flight, feeding, freeze, running, whatever, because everything is a danger. And so, because of this danger, violence emerges. What is awakening? What is enlightenment? It could be freedom from no longer reacting with violence when that R complex, that brain stem, combined with the limbic system in the left hemisphere of the brain, arises, that it doesn't grab our attention, bond with it, entangle it, and get us to act against our deeper, or more authentic, true nature, which is universal loving presence. Sujo mohan segando, bono mujin seganda, homon murio segangaku, butsudo mujo seganjo. Vimalakirti, however innumerable all beings are, we vow to care for them all. However inexhaustible our illusions and delusions are emerging from the brainstem mind, we vow to not be entangled by them all. However immeasurable Dharma teachings are, the teachings of grace, that we all belong, we vow to master them all. And however endless the Buddha way is, our inherent nature of universal loving presence is, we vow, we commit to express it. Completeness in body, speech, and mind. I appreciate you every day. Ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. Non-harming, non-violence, recovery from addiction, Zen, yoga. These are non-violent practices. Be well.